So last week I had a beautiful conversation with a good friend, Trasa, who has the beautiful Galactic Astrology channel called Goddess Inspire. Trasa is absolutely beautifully committed to all things galactic astrology and also service to humanity. And so we regularly, maybe not as regularly as I'd like, we regularly catch up and we talk about things that are going on from my perspective, inside the solar system, and just pushing out the edges a little bit to her supersonic, intergalactic perspective. She has trained with so many different people. She's got such a massive reading list. I'm always really inspired by her when I chat with her. And so we talk in this video about Three Eye Atlas, about the Galactic Centre. We also talk about, what's really going on for humanity at the moment. Truss has really sort of tuned in to what the messages are suggesting, about Three Eye Atlas, how this is all working, why it's all happening at once. And so hopefully you'll get a strong flavour for that in this video. Towards the end, we look at the Galactic Centre showing up in different parts of your chart. So Trasta gives instructions on how to find the Galactic Centre in your chart, and then short forecasts as to what's going on with the new moon and the Galactic Centre working together through your houses. So this is all indexed, all chaptered. So just look for the chapter that's relevant for you once you've listened into our really lovely and quite joyful conversation. Hope you enjoy it. And let's bring Trasa on now. Trasa, how are you doing?
Hi,
it's been a while
Louisa.
since we've been chatting, isn't it?
It has. We're a much needed chat. We need it.
Yeah. What have you been up to since we last chatted on YouTube?
I have been busy with clients' reports and doing a lot of research myself, and the amount of things that have been coming up has just been absolutely amazing. It has. And it's probably because what I'm putting out there is I'm asking for certain clients to come to me who are like service to others, who are here to help humanity, who are bringing in the new earth energy. And like last week I had two teenagers, a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old, and their chart was, it was just amazing. It was just a pleasure to do their chart. A pleasure. I loved it. But yeah, just been busy, very busy.
Wow,
So, yeah,
that's amazing. And right now, I know because obviously you're a galactic astrologer, and I've got my eyes sort of very much in the solar system and a little bit beyond it. Your eyes are always you can't even see my arms, but like you're always searching and looking through the cosmos and like taking note of what's going on at a much, much bigger level. So, what's got your attention right now? I know we're going to be talking about Three Eye Atlas, but are there any other things that are also resonating right now?
Yes. Well, as I was telling you about earlier, in my clients' reports, what's coming up is lots of purging. And people are feeling maybe this low self-worth, thinking, what is wrong with me? Why is this happening to me? Why is this person coming to my life? But what they don't realize is actually it's happening to everybody else. It's happening to humanity. Yeah. It's meant to purge. And what's caught my eye is this month, there's the 3-day portal on the 19th to the 21st. The 19th is when Three Eye Atlas is closest to Earth. And then we have the Galactic Centre. That's huge. So it's to purge everything out and then allow these new insights to come in. And then we have the winter solstice here in the northern hemisphere. So it's a huge portal. So if you have the heads up, it's actually good to to kind of embrace it. And I'll go through the Galactic Centre through the houses. So you can either screenshot this video or just pause it and go into astro.com. I'll tell you where to go and find out exactly where it is in your chart. So there'll be practical details in it.
Yeah, that's going to be really great. I've got some skin in the game because my birthday is actually on the 20th. My solar return is actually on the 19th.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I love this time of year. It's a fascinating time of year, but you're right. Like, this is very galactic at the moment. We just had the full moon in Gemini conjunct the great attractor.
Yeah.
And then, 2 weeks later, there's going to be the new moon in a conjunction with the galactic.
And what did you think of that? I mean, both of us were texting each other about that on the 4th, the new moon, and that was, or the full moon, and the great attractor as well. I mean, that was just colossal. I don't know, did you feel any energy on the 4th? But for me,
I started as I go into most of these things, I feel really, really balanced. What I've noticed this year so much is I'm not sort of like growing in a peak towards an emotion. I feel like normally I feel it building, peaking, and then crashing, but it's a much more gradual wave. Whereas this year I feel fine. Whoops.
Yes,
Whoops.
yes,
and
yes.
and so this, like, these feelings just came out of nowhere, and I was like, and I didn't see that. It's so funny when an astrologer says, "Oh, I didn't see it coming,"
Yeah.
because I was thinking, yeah, the astrology doesn't seem to be hitting me. Whoops. So it's been quite bonkers. I've really felt these sudden, like, urges, and that's what makes me think, these urges are purges, because all of a sudden it's like something builds up to be released, and it doesn't need to just be coming up all the time. I just think it's coming up in a really big wave, so it really can go. And then once it's gone, and I feel it really release.
Amazing.
One thing that I am noticing in myself, but it reflected in so many people's charts that I'm working with at the moment, is this need to understand where they come from. And so I've been actually researching my actual physical ancestry, like all of my great grandparents and stuff, and finding out where they're from and learning some of the stories. And I found that quite helpful, because I think the energy is so kind of destabilizing, as this light. I mean, I perceive a lot of light flooding in at the moment, and it's so funny because so many people are reporting that it's actually really dark. The darkness is coming up, but from my perspective, I'm seeing this light come in, which is allowing the dark to come up to be seen.
Yes.
So I think that's what's going on from my perspective.
Yeah.
But so around the 4th, I had this massive spike. I can't remember what that spike was about now, because I go up and down.
Yeah. God,
But I definitely had a spike, but it was over and done with quite quickly.
But you felt great afterwards. I mean, for me on the 4th, I just wrote a release list that I do anyway, and the Great Attractor was on my first 7th house axis as well. So that was a big one. And then afterwards, I just felt great, and I asked all my family, "Do you want to come for a little walk with me?" There's these lovely, amazing. Amazing fairy trails and ancient sites beside me. None of them wanted to come for a walk with me, so I went by myself. And this massive, huge supermoon was there on the walk, and I passed one old man on the walk anyway, and the whole thing, it was just me there. But the amount of robins that were there, it was just amazing. They just came out of nowhere, and they were following me. They were just flying ahead. It was almost like they were leading the path, and just come out of nowhere. It's crazy. So I was just looking up the moon, and I was just thinking, thank you for releasing all of this. And I gave my power away too much, and I shouldn't have. And now I have my own power, and I feel so much more confident within myself. And it was a massive release, and you just feel great. You just feel like something else is coming. Like, I'm very excited for the 20th, the new moon in Sagittarius. Very excited. I'm a Sagittarian, you're a Sagittarian, so of course.
It's really awesome. I remember when I was pregnant thinking, I hope I'm gonna have some Sagittarians. I hope they're gonna be late. I actually got 2 Scorpios and a Capricorn, like either side. But Sagittarian is great energy. So we've got this new moon coming up, and like this portal. And so what I'd like to do then is to have a look. You're going to guide us through it and tell us what you think we should be aware of. I guess you're letting us know why it's so relevant, why it's worth paying attention. And I love the message here that we need to go easy on ourselves,
100%.
I mean, this is big work we're doing, isn't it, at the moment?
Oh, it is. It really is. People are being too hard on themselves, and self-worth is coming up a lot. It really is. But I think a lot of past life stuff is coming up. You've probably seen in your reports as well. I'm seeing a lot of people who have had their voice stifled in past lives, and it's only now they're starting to speak up for themselves, And
I mean, one thing that I'm really conscious of is if you think about Neptune. Okay, I'm taking it back to the planets. Like, Neptune is coming right to the end of Pisces now. And he went there before. He got to the end of Pisces, and then he stepped into Aries, and then he came back. But he's really getting ready. And obviously Saturn's about to do the same. But obviously in this long transition of having Neptune going through the sign of Pisces, it's always in a square to Sagittarius. And at the moment, at the time of the new moon, which is in a conjunction with the Galactic Centre, we've got Neptune in a very, very tight square. And so, I really think Neptune is, a great dissolver of things. all of our
Yeah.
identities get dissolved, you know, wherever your identity is. Neptune helps you to dissolve it. And I always say
Yeah.
that, you know, when you're positive and conscious of it, you know, Neptune helps you feel so relaxed that you just want
Yes.
to merge, like the urge to merge that so many people have,
Yes.
in a really good conscious way. And then,
Yes.
you know, if you're maybe not feeling so good and not able to work with your emotions so much, and I think this happens to a lot of people earlier in life, you know, we merge ourselves with like drinks and drugs and alcohol and
Yeah.
inappropriate like liaisons and things like that, anything to get ourselves out of our identity. You know,
Yeah.
like we excite ourselves, we drug
Mm.
ourselves, and we try to forget who we are. And so seeing Neptune in this square to, you know, the sun and the new moon and the galactic center, I think is pretty, yeah, it's relevant. So like the thing that I think got your attention this year is the fact that we've got 3i Atlas coming really close to Earth during this shifting time, going from the Sagittarius season into the Capricorn season. Can you tell us a bit about 3i Atlas from your perspective?
Yeah.
And also, like, where did you get that from? Were you channeling yourself? What's your
Well,
idea about it? Because I haven't really considered it too much.
yeah, when I first heard about it, I actually texted one of my friends in that spiritual group I was telling you about, and the two of us have been following it very clearly. And I actually went through the text message there last night to find out what I said to her. And what came in was, it's from another universe. It's from another place that we don't know. It's completely new. So it is. All the spirit guides know about it. It's kind of like a messenger. Nobody exactly knows what it is. But for me, I feel like if I was tuning in, it feels like it's a messenger to help us expand. And it's just bringing in kind of, it's helping humanity in a positive way. So it is. And it's not going to happen again. It's just going to come in and go out again. So what else did I send to her? Yeah, that it's from another universe. All the spirit guides know about it. Yeah, it's a positive thing for humanity. It's not like any other comet that we've experienced before. It doesn't act the same way. The lights change. I've even put in mysteries there in the slides, but like it's behaving in different ways. The lights are changing. It's nothing like we experienced before. So I feel like it's a positive thing for humanity. And somebody was saying before that when it was first discovered, I think that's when the war, you know, that there was a ceasefire in Palestine. So yeah, and actually what's happening there won't be any, you know, with humanity the way it's going anyway, the wave of consciousness, it won't be able to sustain any conflict anyway. So it is helping us.
That's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm just trying to think.
I sometimes listen to Elizabeth April, and she does a lot of remote viewing, and so she was remote viewing and coming into a sort of communication with 3i Atlas, and she was suggesting they were really observing us. You know, they came through at this time to observe and couldn't even say what they were doing because they don't want to influence what might be going on here.
Yes, we're not meant to know. We're not meant to know. There's an element of surprise as well. We're always just in our head, always trying to figure things out from a science perspective, but we're not meant to know. We're meant to experience it, I think. I feel like it's a messenger of some sort, a high frequency, another place, another dimension, another universe that we don't know anything about. It's completely new, so it is. But I think we're meant to experience it instead of trying to analyze what it is. I put some more information in the slides there about.
Come on then, let's have a look.
Yeah.
So during this portal between the 19th and 21st, you've got 3i Atlas, closest to Earth that it will have been and looks like it's going to be. The Galactic Centre, that's, you know, so we've got the sun and the moon coming together in a conjunction at the Galactic Centre. And we've got the winter solstice just straight after. Are you ready for me to go to the next slide?
I am indeed.
Okay.
So the discovery of the 3i Atlas, this is for people who actually really want to know where it came onto the scene, who discovered it. It was on the 1st of July of this year, actually, so very recent. And it was at Chile, their telescope there, and it was the Atlas survey. That's hence why the name. And it was approaching from the inner Milky Way direction from the Sagittarius side, and then heading back out. But to me, as I said to you, it actually feels like a messenger bringing a very high very clean frequency into her field. That's what it
Mhm.
feels like to me anyway. But I do think that when it does come closer to Earth on the 19th, that we keep our frequency high, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I think.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, what I'm getting as you're talking about that, I think all fields of energy we can tune into, can't we? And if we've got this energy field coming close to us that we don't know, it's foreign, but maybe at some archetypal level, it's actually also very real and like we would know it.
Yeah.
It's just we haven't known it for years, but we could tap into it ourselves, right? Would you
Yes,
agree with
every
that?
single one of us, can tap into it. You can go into your meditation, you can ask your higher self to send you information and trust. You
Yeah.
just have to trust. Like
Yeah.
how is it relevant for me on my path?
That's
You
a really
know?
good question to ask. I'm going to actually write that down. Hang on.
Yeah.
How is 3i Atlas relevant to my journey?
Yes.
And what's its message?
Yes.
That's
For
a
me.
really, really good thing to ask. So it's bringing something very sort of clean into our field.
Yeah.
So tell me more about it then.
And why it's still mysterious is recently they're observing it as unusual chemistry. It's CO2 heavy, unlike most comets. I was telling you there about it's not behaving like a normal comet. So that's why they don't think it is one. The rapid brightening without clear cause, strange light scattering behavior, ancient surface altered by billions of years of radiation. This is what the astronomers are saying.
Really?
The 3i Atlas doesn't behave like the comets we know. It's rare, unknown messenger from another system. That's how I feel. Though it is an unknown messenger from another system.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. Interesting. It's got a strange light scattering behavior because I guess if we're noticing differences, we might ask ourselves, is this natural? Is this a natural phenomenon? Or is this something made with a different kind of consciousness? I don't know. Have you seen things in your skies in Ireland?
Yeah, actually, a friend of mine, she actually sent me a video. She was out one day and she saw something that a lot of other people saw, and she sent me the video, and then obviously it was downplayed. What about you in Portugal?
Well, I haven't actually seen anything in Portugal, but where I used to live in Devon, I used to live at a pretty interesting site, an old agricultural college, and I lived there for 5 years. And when I was there, I saw all sorts of different things, like glowing balls in the sky.
Oh
That
yes,
came
I
like
saw them
sort of
in
outside my
Lanzarote.
flat,
Wow.
really close, and then quick as that they'd be off.
Yes.
And it's like, what the hell was that?
Yes.
I saw like a copper shaped cigar like
Oh
craft,
wow.
like really close to the school that we were living in. And the really strange thing is I saw it in the sky, and then I was taking my rubbish out. So I was like doing my refuse. I was like, oh, that's unusual. Went back to tell my husband. And the moment I went to tell him, it went from my mind. Totally
Wow.
forgot. And then I remembered about a week later and I said, I need to tell you something. And then totally forgot.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until about 6 months had passed that I was able to remember it and share it. It's very bizarre.
That's
It was almost like
amazing.
I was supposed to see it, but not report it.
Yes. Just for your eyes only.
Yeah, but I saw a load of anomalies. So I do think there are places around the world where there is it an electromagnetic stress or a difference or something?
Yes.
But definitely things were coming through. And during that time, I saw crystal cities in the sky as well.
Oh my
So I
God,
saw
that's
all different
amazing.
things. But I think what we're perceiving around us, I see it as a message. Like these, whatever we're seeing is giving us something. So this is interesting that we've got something with strange light scattering behavior that appears to be how many million miles away? Do you know?
I actually, I had it down here. I'll put it back into notes. No, it's no, I'll go back over them anyway and I'll tell you what it is.
Yeah,
But
sure.
yes. But
But
I know what you mean about those
these are
lights.
all messengers. Everything
Yeah.
we're seeing is communicating a piece of information to us.
Yeah, because you were talking about those lights that came, like just say it was 6 of them and they disappeared. I actually was on holiday with my partner at the time, and the two of us were on a beach, and we just happened to look up. Thank God he was there with me, otherwise we wouldn't have believed it. And we saw those 6 lights, and they moved so quickly around the sky, and then they disappeared. But apparently, the water between Lanzarote and Forteventura, there's a portal there, and they're known
Oh,
to go in
really?
there. Yeah, there is. And
Mm.
also as well here in the west of Ireland, there is another portal out in one of the islands as well. So lots of things were spotted there. So
Mm.
there is. So it's very interesting. Very
Yeah.
interesting. I wonder what's happening.
Yeah. Right. Are you happy for me to move on?
Yes. Yes, 100%.
So the 19th then, what do
Yeah.
you want to share here?
So that's what I was talking about, that it's close, three-eye atlas is closest to the earth. But it's a beautiful moment to kind of pause, ground, and listen. And actually, this is what I tuned into. What I was meant to tell you, I sent my friend months ago when I heard about it, is that it's going to come through the third eye and the crown chakra.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I feel it's going to come through the information. So your intuition, your third eye, your crown chakra is going to feel extra switched on. So practice. If this frequency is for my highest good, I'm open to receive it.
Yes, it's very good.
You know?
And of course, you mentioned the third eye, and of course, it's called 3-Eye Atlas. Whoever named
Oh, yes. Interesting. I never thought about that.
it.
Never thought about that. You are so on the ball.
I don't think that's an accident, do you?
No, definitely not. Wow, I never thought about that. But yes, third eye, crown chakra, and actually every single report I've done for people, the crown chakra, because obviously at the start of the report I go deep into their Akashic records, and their crown chakra is it needs the most balancing. But I mean, we're surrounded by, look at the water, the food, everything. It needs balancing anyway. So I think now is a good time to kind of balance your third eye and your crown chakra, even through meditations or even the intention, asking your higher self as well, and just letting those downloads come in. If you don't want it to come in very quick and thick and fast, then you can just say, I'm open to receive it, but at a slower pace, whatever comes to you,
Excellent. I love that.
Yeah.
I love this, what you've written, a womb around the solar system. Tell me about that.
Yes. So I was telling you earlier about Dr. David Clements, a fellow Englishman, an English person like yourself. You two should get together because he is a physicist, but is also an intuitive and he's a channel. And he's, like yourself, incredibly humble, has high integrity. He's just, you can feel it. I've been doing these meditation for a long time now, and my spiritual group here, every single one of us have been doing meditation. And one of the women said, it's profound. That's the word it's otherworldly. So it is. So he said that he saw a massive, when he tuned into 3-Eye Atlas, his team actually said, and we all have teams, we all have our own higher self, and he talks about this himself. They actually immediately brought him to vessels that are huge. I think it was a 1/8 the size of the moon. They're huge, and they're surrounding our solar system. And they saw massive vessels forming like a womb-like bubble around the solar system, and it's going to come up through. And it's non-material beings converging on the sun, modulating the waves reaching Earth, because it's coming in waves, as we were talking about earlier, waves. And he describes a stabilization field helping us ride these incoming waves, which is great. So we're not out of whack. And my take on it is the new field doesn't sustain conflict. It recognizes towards harmony. So there won't be this whole wars and conflict and things. It won't be able to sustain itself. So that's how he feels about it. So yeah.
Well, that would be really quite amazing, wouldn't it? If because when like one thing I notice about humans, and obviously I'm raising 3 little ones, and you're raising a couple yourself, aren't you?
Yeah.
When we don't understand things, we often go to conflict, don't we? It's almost hardwired into us, if things like don't match our understanding, we're like, on guard. That would be very interesting if the field of energy is there to just reorganize us towards harmony, because conflict can only exist or occur if the field allows it to. So when we were talking earlier about like how had I been experiencing the full moon, and I said it's like whoops and it comes down, and then I go up again with my emotions and then back down to a kind of level. What I'm imagining here is that there's this field state, like when you're riding a bike for the first time, you've got stabilizers, so you're still able to go through the sensation of riding the bike, or you're still able to think things through like a child. If they're having some internal conflict, you're still able to think things through, but there's some calming guidance around, so that
Yes,
you don't
that's
feel
it.
that you're being pulled up into a sudden emotional energy and then back down again. So
Yes.
as you were talking about that and I was tuning into it, I imagined that it's almost, I felt like this. I lived in Bali for a little while, and when I got there, I described it as being surrounded by feather cushions. It felt to me like everything was cushioned. And I remember when I flew back to England, I felt like as I arrived in the arrival lounge, I felt like the energy's like knives coming at me. It felt really like the field of energy is very different in different countries.
It is, yeah.
And that's not to say that England's like, they haven't been back for 8 years, so I've got no idea what it feels like now. But yeah, so when you're saying that, I'm imagining that we're kind of cushioned, and maybe some of the, the harsh noise, like I'm in a studio, we put cushions around all the edges of our room so that the sound is softened, so I'm imagining that this energy that's coming in is kind of damped down and softened.
Yes, so it's not overwhelming us. You see, they have our best interests at heart. They really do. They're completely benevolent.
Fantastic. I love that. Thank you. So the idea is they're here to stabilize.
Yes.
And tune it. Okay.
And also as well, when I'm going through my clients' charts, I mean, most of them don't even know their spirit guides. They don't really connect with their spirit guides. They don't even know that they have a lot of help on the other side. So when I tap into their Akashic records before I do their astrology reading, I tell them exactly who their spirit guides are and their soul essence color and things like that. So and I always finish at the end of the report that ask them for help. Ask them, what's my next step? Tap into your higher self as well. Like, it's not just when you see a video of somebody saying, I talked to my guides and this is what they said, or I can channel X, but you can do it as well. You can all do it. And Neptune going into Aries, it's pushing us towards this now instead of giving away our external authority.
That's a really good reminder. Like, what's my next step? If you saw me writing, it's because I want to put it up. It's a really good thing to. I mean, you were reminding me of that when you looked at my chart as well. Like, what's my next step? Don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah. Because there's so much help there. So much help. You're not alone.
I mean, that's an important message to have, isn't it? And to know, that we're not doing this on our own. It's very helpful to know.
So what I've noticed is lots of purging. You probably noticed this a lot in your clients as well, is the amount of purging that's coming up. But the only thing is they kind of blame themselves. They think like, why did I attract this person into my field? Why am I suffering with a silent wound, a voice wound, or I can't speak up, or I have no boundaries? And low self-worth is coming up a lot. Low self-worth. And this is through all the years of research and everything I've done. So all low self-worth patterns surfacing, and it's often linked to past lives where their gifts were suppressed. That's what I found. And a lot of people are coming up with their voice, as I was talking about earlier, was suppressed. Maybe they spoke the truth in a past life and they were just, whatever happened to them, it's still in their field. So it is. So it's all coming up to say, in this life, we're in different times. You're not going to be killed for speaking up, speak up, use your voice. And you will go through lots of initiations. That's what we all signed up for, to use your voice. And yes, you would be, they'll try to put you down, but eventually the truth comes up. It always comes up in the end. So it does. So people are finally speaking up and setting boundaries. Is very important that you don't leave yourself. I mean, a lot of people who are empaths, they kind of just merge themselves with other people and they feel the love and things like this, but then they also need to have boundaries, We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, definitely.
Boundaries are needed, so they are. Otherwise, you're kind of self-abandoning yourself, but you can help more of humanity when you're actually there for yourself. And what I've learned as well, and I remember in your astrology school, I did a reading there, or we did a video, and I was talking about empaths who chose narcissistic initiations and now breaking the pattern and standing in their power. And there was one lady in there who said she had to go through that. And I did say that eventually these people who are empaths and they have this narcissist come into their life and they come out of that, they come out of the other side and they might end up teaching it to other people. And she said she actually has a women's circle and it's going great. And that's what she's doing. She's empowering these women and even men as well, just empowering them. So that's why this whole thing of narcissism is kind of raising its head, because empaths are standing in their power now, especially with Neptune going into Aries as well. They're standing up for themselves, and this and they incarnated together. It's not to say that it's anything one is good or anything something is bad. It's the incarnated together. They chose to play that part, so that they can just balance it out.
I love what you're saying there so much, because I'm definitely seeing that is something that's coming up. I mean, I would say over the last few years, not just this year, but like the terms gaslighting and narcissist, and loads of people are starting to feel like that. And I think Chiron going through Aries has absolutely, over the last 7 years, kind of brought up that really clear identification of wounding. Because if we think, I mean, I think, sorry to take this back to the planets.
No, it's good.
Like where Neptune's going to go, Chiron's been giving us a bit of a heads up on it, because he's gone first into Aries. And so, I remember when Chiron was in Pisces, loads of people were feeling confused and feeling like they had hurt, but they couldn't really access it. They couldn't ground it. They couldn't, because obviously it was in Pisces, and so the hurts were all over the shop, but we couldn't even put our finger on it. We just had this sense of it. And of course, once Chiron went into Aries, 2017 to 2018, I think it was, off the top of my head, I can't remember now, but during that point, I remember writing a blog piece and saying, oh, we're going to get really identified. And then boom, all of a sudden, healing's such a strong theme, and, talking of people like coming into their victimhood, but being able to see it and identify with it, Aries being the first sign of the zodiac, it really has that sort of ego identification kind of written into it. So we've been able to see it so clearly and get really angry about it and really feel it, and been very raw. And so, I think, as Neptune and then later Saturn come into Aries, people are going to have the energy to deal with things and to bring it to a stop. They'll get grounded in that Aries energy. It will be so obvious that we see it. So it makes complete sense that we are really seeing it. And of course, you were talking about back earlier this year and how a 3i Atlas started coming in or getting noticed around July. Well, we had, if we go back, Neptune came into Aries on the 31st of March, then Saturn came into Aries on the 25th of May, and they were both really working together through June and July. They were sort of like building that story into Aries, and then of course they both started to retreat. So we've already had a bit of that spike of getting clearer, and I'm not surprised now that they've both been retrograde. Obviously, Saturn's direct again, and Neptune's direct from, I think, next week, the 10th, I think, that we're going to start to move forwards with it.
Yes.
So it's no surprise right now that this is coming up as this big purge. It's like, I was going to describe it as doing a big poo, but actually I think birthing is a better one, isn't it? Like you're having these contractions. And so I think like last year was like a really big contraction year where our heavenly midwife is saying push.
Like, oh my god, that's brilliant. That is brilliant. That, oh my god, that's a brilliant analogy. It really is. I can just visualize it there.
Do you imagine like in January, February, sorry Trasa, I keep interrupting, but like I think like the shoulders are going to come flying out. We've both like birthed babies, we're crowned already, the shoulders are going to come out. And then what's going to happen?
God, that's amazing. Yeah. Oh my god, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Well put, by the way. Well put. And when you brought out that whole video about a meditation about stop people pleasing, I thought, this is exactly what was coming up in my reports. Like, just exactly, which is what humanity needs. Like, the stop the people pleasing. It's so important. It doesn't do you any service at all. It really doesn't. And also as well, staying in victimhood. I know everybody has a story and stuff, but it's not. You're not self-empowered to stay in there the whole time. Neptune again going into Aries, it's asking you to come out and step into your power. Like, if you knew how powerful you are, the world would just open up. Opportunities, people, circumstances would come onto your path if you knew how powerful you are. So we have to step into that power as well. But the stop people pleasing meditation that you have out would be a great place to start for people. Yeah.
I totally forgotten I did that actually.
Yeah, the minute you did it, I thought, oh, she's getting the same message as I am. Because it's coming up a lot in my reports. So many that come to me
Yeah.
as well, it's the same with you. They're at a crossroads. They're feeling this nudge. They always say, I feel like there's this nudge. My soul is nudging me towards a new path, but I want clarity and courage. And then I show them, their path, their mission, and also their obstacles, because I do think that we really do need to know our obstacles so that we're not stumbling over them again and again. And obviously their spirit guides and things like that. But they feel it inside their soul that something is pushing them onto a new path. And then when I finished the report, they'd say, oh, I knew it inside myself. I just needed the clarity. I needed somebody to say it. And then they have that confidence to go off then and do it. I mean, you probably get a lot of people right now. I've had a good few people now who have Chiron going through their 7th house. And I know somebody who has that, and she is gone through so much amazing healing. So she's just found herself, she's connected with shamans. She doesn't stay there. She gets the healing and she moves on, and she purges. Lots of purging has come up. She lost herself in the relationship, but now she's 7th house of relationships. But now she's kind of found herself, and she's come out. She looks amazing. She really looks amazing, like the best I've ever seen her.
Wow,
So
good for her.
Yeah.
Sounds like she's worked really hard for that as well.
Yeah, she is. She's definitely somebody who works a lot, really hard on herself. So my question would be is to ask, what part of me called in this situation, and what is it asking me to release? So ask your higher self that. What frequency call this in? What part of it? And what do I need to release? And it'll give you the answer. Even through your dreams, it depends on your chart and things like this. Journal them. It's come to you. For me, it comes when I'm out in nature or when I'm in the shower. It just comes instantly, So.
Yeah, absolutely. Mine's much more mundane than that. I always find I get information when I'm washing up. So I like the shower thing. To me, I have to have my hands in water. Once my hands are in water, all of a sudden messages come through.
Yeah. Wow. God.
I love that.
Yeah.
This is such a good question to ask. What part of me called this in, and what's it asking me to release? It's really, really strong. So the heart of our galaxy, then, the Galactic Centre.
Yes.
Do you want to remind us about that?
Yes. Now you embody this because you have a conjunct your sun, so you're constantly in that download mode, because constantly. So, and you know what's actually interesting? I was telling you there earlier that I did a report there for 2 teenagers. They're from Ireland. One of them is 14, the other one was 16, and he also has the Galactic Centre conjunct. He actually has it in his 1st house, so he completely embodies it. And also as well, the kids, when I was tuning into his Akashic records, the frequency, I've never come across this in any client's report before, because I've never had someone so young. So their frequency is so high. So high. So it just goes to show the kids, the teenagers, they're just elevated. Like, we can learn so much for them. So the Galactic Centre, it's for those who don't know, it's a supermassive black hole. It's also known as Sagittarius A. It's at the core of the Milky Way. In tropical astrology, it sits between 26 and 27 Sagittarius. But Philip Sedgwick actually describes it as a download point for advanced insight and a kind of defrag that pushes out all the old beliefs, so no new information and insights can come in. So I have to credit Philip Sedgwick, because he's the pioneer of galactic astrology. He's done decades of research on the Galactic Centre. He is the main source that people should go to. He's just he has high integrity as well. He's just brilliant at this. But yes, I'm going to go through the Galactic Centre, through the houses. So this is where you can either screenshot it or pause the video and then go, and I'll tell you where to find it in your chart as well, because this is where it'll be activated for you.
That's really, really helpful. Brilliant. So
yeah. So the natal Galactic Centre by house is where you're wired lifelong to receive downloads and delete old scripts. So for you, it's in your sun. You're wired to you're constantly receiving downloads, and you're deleting old scripts as you go along. The transiting Galactic Centre is over the by houses, where your life is being updated right now. So the old stories are clearing and new vision lands. So you can check where the transit is, and you're going to check natally as well. And the Galactic Centre is most potent on the 19th to the 20th of December, when the sun and moon both conjuncted during the new moon at 28 degrees of Sagittarius. So you can look and see where 28 degrees of Sagittarius is. But on the next slide, I'll actually tell you exactly where to go to find this out. So you can go to astro.com, you can log into it, or you can go into free horoscopes, click on extended chart selection, and under additional objects, actually tick Gal.Centre. That's the Galactic Centre.
Yeah.
And note where the house 26 is 27 to 28 of Sagittarius falls, and any planet's angles closely conjunct that point. So that's, if you want to go onto that now and pause the video and then just Google through the houses.
And so, like, once somebody's ticked that and put it into their birth chart, then they can really clearly see where that is.
Yeah, they can see the house area that it is. So remember, it's all about kind of deleting the old identity, so that you can allow in new fragments. As Philip said, defrag, and you're ahead of your time when this happens. So the Galactic Centre in the first house, as I was telling you there about that 16-year-old, you're designed to reinvent yourself again and again. People may only get who you are months or years later, and you're ahead of your time.
Oh, that must be like really comforting for people who don't understand that about themselves.
Yeah.
You know, or they know, but nobody else gets them. I think that must be really hard.
I know. And that's when I was put it into their chart as well. The parents got it as a Christmas present for their teenagers. And, you know, they wanted it in adult writing as well. So they're not just teenage writing, but at least they'd be able to understand their kids. Because I also put in insights about what to do, what kind of activities it would bring it out and things like this. So they can completely see where they're coming from as well. They're ahead of their time. Yeah. So old identities and roles are regularly defragged, so truer self-image can emerge. So you can practice, let the world meet the version of you that's arriving.
Is this where it is for you? Because you've got Sagittarius rising, haven't you?
I do. I do, yes. When I was doing his report, I was just thinking about myself as well. I was like, oh, Jesus, yeah. But yes, but he has a very conjunct. I mean, it's just the orbit influence was just, it was only minutes. Absolutely minutes. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. These new souls, these new kids that are coming in are just high frequency. Oh my God, it's just amazing. You can see it there with your son who came in there earlier, Solomon. I mean, I could see my kids as well. The things that they're coming out, which is just, we can learn from them.
One of the things I'm noticing about my kids is they really don't take things that seriously. They're really very chill. And they've got their own language, and, you know, like they've got all these little code words. I'm guessing like we did as well. And I try and use their language, and they're like, "Oh, Mom, you're not supposed to say that." They're like they're really chilled out, and they, you know, it takes a lot to get them angry. And I remember I was such a firehead, you know, when I was younger, like really getting angry at everything. But these guys are just so chilled out. You know, nothing seems to bother them. And I remember, like, I think it probably was around the time of the full moon in Sagittarius, in Gemini, earlier this month. And my eldest son, who's 14, said, "Mum, why are you taking that personally?" Like, he looked at me and was like, "You don't have," like, he was the one that was saying, "You have a choice about whether you're going to get angry or not."
Oh my God.
And you know, he like instinctively knows what it's taken me years, and I'm still learning.
This is crazy. This is crazy, because my 7-year-old said almost the exact same thing to me as well when we're on a walk. So I had to say, how do you know this? Like, you're just so advanced for your age.
They just know it.
Yeah. They do. We can learn. We really should look to them. We really should.
Yeah, they are our teachers for sure. So that's very exciting. So if you've got Sagittarius rising, if you've got the Galactic Centre in your first house, you are reinventing yourself.
Yes.
I love the idea that you are letting a truer self emerge, because we do think, you know, that maybe we've got like one life, or like we might reinvent ourselves a few times, but I'm guessing you're always reinventing yourself with this.
Yeah,
especially around the time of this particular very potent new moon.
Yeah, and you can even ask, what's the best version of me that's to come out? Help me bring it forward.
That's a great question. Okay, so Galactic Centre in your second house then.
Yeah, so we both know it's all about self-worth. I know they talk about money as well, but really self-worth is a lot in here. So all stories of not enough are up for clearing. That's the thing. That's what's coming up a lot for people is, I'm not enough. Who am I to get out there on the videos? Who am I to have these big visions and write a book when there's people who are authors who are well established? Yes, you are enough. Yes, you are enough. The Galactic Centre here is purging this old identity of you thinking you're not enough because you were the one who said it, so that new insights will come in. So you're tuned into more soulful, fairer ways of earning and sharing resources. You see the whole system as probably corrupt, which it is, and you can see and sense that it should be done in a fairer way.
Yeah.
It purifies your worth and expands your capacity to receive based on alignment, not fear. So you could practice, write one money story or even a self-worth belief you're deleting and one new truer belief you're willing to test.
That really rings a bell because it is in my second house, and obviously the Galactic Centre is where my sun is.
Yeah.
And so this is more likely, you know, like you've got Scorpio rising, mostly, to have Galactic Centre in the second house. That really resonates with me, Trasa. Thank you so much.
And look at what you're achieving right now. I mean, like the downloads you're receiving this month as well. So it's getting you ready for something bigger, you know.
Yes, isn't it just?
It is.
So then the third house then, so if you've got Libra rising, most likely you've got the Galactic Centre in your third house, but again, check, you know, with your birth chart. So tell me about this one.
So as you know, it's communication and siblings and things like that, local neighbours, all that. So your mind runs on galactic Wi-Fi. Insights often arrive well before others are ready. So you're here to shift the conversation in your circles and community. The Galactic Centre here clears all mental scripts so your words match your actual frequency. So what somebody with this in the third house really should have a voice recorder or keep voice notes, memos for oddly clear ideas, because they may be 6 to 15 months ahead of time. So very important to communicate them. You're getting these downloads. And anything that you think that maybe there's, as I've said earlier, Neptune was transiting your third house, maybe you had it in Pisces and you had lots of disillusion and, you know, now it's gone direct and it's going to move into Aries. So it's like, now you're ready to kind of move forward. All of the last few years about purge, now you're ready to move forward. So all this old identity of not having your voice, you know, I did have a lady actually just coming to me there, an Irish woman who, her third house was full. It was full. I think she even had a Lilith there as well. And she said, all my peers, they could speak up, they could talk. But then I said, it's just the energy your soul chose to come in with. Don't blame yourself for this. And when I told her that she absolutely can change, she wanted to change the school system here. I can see it in your chart, you're well able to do it. And she just had so much confidence. And now she knows, and she's picturing it and she's putting it into practice and she's taking notes, and she's way ahead of the time. Way ahead. So her thinking, her mind, everything is way ahead. The way she's thinking about changing the system is just amazing. So it is. So she's on a road now. She's doing this. So her old identity was, oh, I have that wound. My voice is suppressed. To a new one that I can actually do it. Of course I can.
Yeah. So these would be the Libra Ascendants, and of course they would have just had the full moon in their ninth house as well, so encouraging them to
teach. Yeah.
Wow, thank you so much for that. I love that. So in the fourth house then,
this is very interesting. I really like this one as well. It's you may be the one who stops carrying certain ancestral patterns, so home and family become a laboratory for new earth values. The Galactic Centre, I love this. New earth values. Galactic Centre here defrags, this is just how my family is story, so you can build a new inner foundation. So you can practice, name one family pattern you refuse to pass on, bless it, and consciously do something different.
Lovely. That's really, really special. And of course, it's coming up to this time of year, isn't it, when, you know, we spend a lot of time with family, and that we become really present to the true cost of, this is just how my family is.
Yes.
So obvious to us. That's really
I love that. So you're the change maker. You with the fourth house, you're the change maker in that family. So and they'll follow suit. You're the one who's leading ahead. You know, they'll follow.
Yeah, I imagine it could be a slightly more comfortable place to be a black sheep now, as things are moving a bit faster than, you know, maybe 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Yes.
So Galactic Centre in your fifth house then?
So this is the joy, the fun, the creativity, the playfulness, the children. So you're here, this is one of the best ones as well. You're here to show that joy, play, and creativity are sacred. And this is us as adults. We forget about this. We're so like hustling and doing things and being busy, but it's so sacred. So children, as we were talking about earlier, or even your inner child, can be powerful galactic messengers. They just say it straight, as we were talking about. The Galactic Centre, the fifth, clears shame around being too much if you think you're too much. So your light can actually shine. You're meant to shine. So practice, do one unapologetically playful thing and watch how your body responds.
Yeah, so this is for somebody who's most likely got their ascendant in the sign of Leo.
Yeah.
And the Galactic Centre would be in their fifth house. I'm married to somebody with his ascendant in Leo. He's very
probably
fun.
lots of fun and things like that.
It's definitely loads of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was about to say, too much fun, but too much. It's great. It's great to be around someone who's so joyful. Sure.
Oh, that's great.
So then, for people with Cancer rising,
it's in your sixth house. So you're wired to bring higher guidance into everyday systems like work, health, routines. The old martyr patterns around service are being deleted. They're being completely deleted. Your body can force a reset when a lifestyle no longer fits your soul. And you can feel it. Like now we're stepping into a time where we can feel this energy. You can feel the truth. And you can practice, ask, what one daily habit no longer matches who I'm becoming? Then gently swap it.
Yes.
You're the change maker around the systems. You're here to change the systems. So think, what system do I want to change? And those old stories of, oh, who am I to say that I can change the systems? They're being purged so that you can receive these insights that are 6 to 12 months ahead of the time.
Beautiful. Yeah. And so this is a big one then, isn't it? For people who've got Gemini rising, the Galactic Centre is going to be in their 7th house.
Yeah. So you meet the Galactic Centre through other people, partners, clients, collaborators, relationships, as we know about the 7th house. All scripts around rescuing or being rescued are up for clearing. You no longer have to rescue people, and you don't have to be rescued. It's up for clearing. That's what's purging in you right now. You're here to model equal soul-to-soul relating and win-win solutions. So it's all about equality. And practice in conflict, pause and ask, what is the higher truth of this relationship beyond our current story? And you'll see your relationships evolve. Your conversations are high frequency, and and the messages are coming through about that person. You think, oh wow, God, I never saw them that way. And ask your higher self, show me a different way to see them. See them in the light.
I always think the Galactic I always think the 7th house is a huge mirror, because we see ourselves in the other people, like in front of us, but it's often we're seeing aspects of ourselves that we just couldn't see. So we always ascribe, my rising is Scorpio, and I attract loads of like Taurus type people into my life, and I'm always thinking, oh, they're so generous, or they're all this, or they're so whatever it is that I think about them. And when you're judging other people and like associating a characteristic with them, it's often things that you're not naturally tying yourself with, even though most likely the things you're noticing them are exactly what's going on with you. Brilliant, I'm imagining that your partner is showing you what your galactic strengths are here.
Yes, perfectly put, exactly. So you can ask ask your higher self, what is it that you want to show me that's in them?
So that's with Gemini rising. So we're coming up to Taurus rising now. So if you've got Taurus rising or ascendant, the chances are the Galactic Centre is in your 8th house. This is an interesting one because the 8th house is quite tricky, isn't it? People struggle here a little bit.
Yes, but you're a natural alchemist. I mean, I had actually that 17-year-old. He had one of his spirit guides was actually Merlin, and he's a natural alchemist. So you're a natural alchemist. Dense energies tend to transform around you. You are that person that could be like, if this was to happen to another person, it might fall apart. But for you, you can alchemize it. Calling your guides, alchemize it. So the Galactic Centre here defrags fear around death, sex, power, and taboo. You see hidden patterns underneath crisis and endings. So practice, when something intense happens, ask, what is this trying to transmute through me?
So what are these relationship patterns showing me? And these dense energies. And you're right, like I always think like death and sex and power and taboo, these are all the things we're slightly hidden about, aren't they? We never talk about them when we just meet somebody necessarily.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of the subject that's taboo, and you don't talk about it, but it's coming up. It's all of this is coming up to be, you know, to be
Purged.
healed. Yes, to be purged.
So if we go to people with Aries rising then, or ascendant, they've got the
Yeah,
Galactic Centre in their 9th house.
it's a lovely one as well. So your beliefs are meant to evolve, not stay stuck in one dogma. So you're not meant to just think, this is my belief, I'm going to stay with it. You know, like just say religious, cults, all that kind of stuff. They will grow up with it. You're not meant to stay with the one thing the whole time. You're meant to kind of just be open-minded to others, you know, because really it all comes back to the one place anyway, to source. This is what's great about you, is you're tuned to bigger picture, global and galactic perspectives. The Galactic Centre here clears outdated philosophies so you can live from direct experience of truth. So you can practice, pick one belief you inherited, ask your higher self if it still fits. If not, let it go. If it does, then keep it. You know,
Yeah.
Very good one to have.
Yeah, I really see that people's minds are shifting, aren't they? And their mind could be really blown wide open with this 9th house, because the 9th house is quite it's really curious, you know, like curiosity killed the cat, like curiosity killed the cat's fixed mindset. That's how I see it. You know, and all of a sudden it's like I
So think like a galactic perspective, global, the big picture, think that, you know, and stay open, not just one, just stay open.
Yeah.
Because you are the one that could bring those insights to us. So you could be the one that writes these books and teaches and things like that. You're the one who can bring this, as long as it's not just dogma in that one thing that you're stuck in. Stay open.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on right now where we're encouraged to see the global picture. But again, the global picture that we're encouraged to see is often a global picture that all the global news agencies want us to see. That's one thing I like about working online, is I get to chat with people from all different parts of the world on a one-to-one basis and find out actually how things are. And actually, in nearly all the cases of the people I talk with, you know, their reality is very different to what we hear about. So I do think people, you know, with this Aries rising or ascendant sign, you know, they are maybe communicating part of the global picture a lot more effectively. You know, maybe they're the messengers as well.
Yeah, messengers. That's a good one. Definitely themselves in the 3rd house. Messengers. So, ahead of the time. Yeah.
So then if you've got Pisces rising, now I know I've got somebody, it's so funny when you were talking about the Galactic Centre, because one of the things I've noticed in my school community is that, like, when we are doing hangouts and we've all got our charts and we're looking at our patterns and things like that from different perspectives each time, I often notice we've got loads of people with ascendants, suns, moons, or something really prominent like a stellium or something, or an angle, you know, at like 24 to 29 degrees in the sign of Sagittarius. And I just assumed that, because it's my group, my sun is at 27:53 in the sign of Sagittarius and my Mercury's there as well. I just assumed it was, you know, because like we're always creating in our shape, whether we like it or not, we can't help ourselves. It's resonance. But maybe people are coming in because of the Galactic Centre, because we're all of a similar mindset. And one of my members has got this beautiful, very intense conjunction between Mars, Neptune, and the midheaven at the Galactic Centre.
Oh wow.
It's like huge. So, you know, when you're saying Galactic Centre in the 10th house, I am thinking directly of her, because obviously she's got Pisces rising. I mean, this is really trippy, isn't it, with the Galactic Centre in the 10th?
Yeah, because she is, and those people with the Galactic Centre in the 10th, is here to bring advanced insight into the public sphere. So I don't know if she has a public role at all, but she is meant to kind of step into
soon
that.
Will.
Oh, great! I hope she sees this, because it'd be good for her to see. So the old "Who am I to" stories are being cleared, so you can stand in your truth, or you are completely. We want to hear your story. You often see the future of your field before others. So practice asking, if I trusted my role in the bigger plan, what small public step would I need to take next? Maybe it's like a little collaboration with somebody, a little video, a little post, blog post, create a small website. Something. We want to hear it. You're the one who's to bring it to the public sphere. You know, trust yourself.
I really like what you put there. What small public step would I next need to take? Because you're right, because the people with this configuration will have most likely their ascendant in the sign of Pisces, and of course they'll freak themselves out if they take a massive leap forwards. You know, so like small, like slowly, softly.
And
That's
build the
a really good
confidence.
approach.
And you'll build your confidence through each small step. The confidence will grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful. Thanks, Tressa. And so the Galactic Centre in the 11th house then is for people with Aquarius rising, mostly.
Yeah, I've actually done a lot of those charts recently. So you plug Galactic Centre energy into groups, communities, and collective projects. So as I was talking about that lady who wanted to change the whole kind of system, the school system as well, I think she's one of her family members with this as well. And they're working collaboratively on this, they're collaborating. So old outsider wounds are coming up for clearance so you can belong without shrinking. So maybe you thought, I don't belong. I don't belong in this group. Maybe it was a group that you're a natural networker of souls, seeing how people and visions connect. So practice sharing like one wild idea with a trusted group and notice who lights up. And you're probably going from group to group, but you'll find that group that you think, this is it, this is my home. Or create the group. Create the group, you know?
I really think that's amazing, because I do think there've been a lot of groups and communities and collective projects that have come up in the last, like 5 years or so. Things have been coming up, especially as Pluto is getting closer and closer to Aquarius. And of course, now Pluto's properly in Aquarius. So this is all going to go. But of course, so, if you've got Aquarius rising and you've got Pluto right, in your first house and the Galactic Centre in your 11th house, there's this sort of powerful call. There's, I remember when Pluto went in my first house when I was a teenager, my poor parents, it makes you very strong and really kind of, kind of fixed and grounded in what you're doing. All of a sudden it comes up in such a transforming way. You can't possibly ignore it. You become so certain. So this is really big. This is really important for somebody who has got a wild idea, because people might be listening.
And maybe for that person that thinks, okay, if the systems go down, the grid goes down, how can I create a community and bring all these people together, people who have trades? I'm the one who can create it. You're the one who can create it, or you can go off and collaborate with other people. You're the one, the new earth role, step into it. Like if you're getting these ideas and you're getting these downloads, then it's a nudge. Listen.
Beautiful. Thank you. And then finally then, so this is if you've got Capricorn rising, chances are your Galactic Centre is in your 12th house.
And spirituality and subconscious beliefs. So you access Galactic Centre easily in dreams, meditation, and ethereal spaces. You can feel it. So all unconscious scripts, like including past life stuff, are being released right now. It's all being released. You quietly anchor cosmic light into the collective field. So practice before sleep, asking higher self, if there's guidance for me tonight, help me remember what matters in the morning. So dreams or sleep, it'll come to you in meditation. It's just you are the one who is getting all these downloads that are ahead of their time through your dreams or meditation or sleep or your subconscious, and write them down, record them.
This actually sounds like the easiest one, actually, because you can just like go to sleep a bit earlier. I mean, what a brilliant piece of advice. All you need to do right now to get into that sort of cosmic development energy is to sleep well and to honor your imaginal space. I love that.
Ask for the guidance to be received.
If that was my medicine right now.
Ask for it to come to you.
All you need to do is have a good night's sleep.
I know a lot of people actually aren't sleeping that well right now. There is solar flares. It's a powerful month, as you know. So it's powerful.
Yes. So that's our little step through the Galactic Centre, house by house. That's really, really helpful. You had some other notes that you just wanted to share.
This was just at the end when I was going to talk about the last bit, which was the winter solstice. So December, as we all know, it's a very powerful month. It's the moment before everything changes, because obviously everything is moving. Into different signs. So Neptune direct at 29 degrees of Pisces on the 11th. Long dream. We were talking about this. A long dream cycle completing, illusions dissolving.
Yeah.
So
So it's not just that it's completing this little bit, you know, since it went back into Pisces earlier this year. We're talking about the whole of Neptune in Pisces. The whole story is dissolving,
yes,
and it's never going to be in the same relationship with the sun in, you know, across Sagittarius.
yeah,
Again, you know, like
mhm,
next time Neptune and the sun are in a square together, it's going to be through Aries and Capricorn
yeah,
for the
exactly.
next
So things are
14 years or
moving.
so.
Yes, exactly. So it'll never happen again. So things are moving. Everything changes. So on the 19th to the 20th is when the Galactic Centre, the new moon in Sagittarius, see new stories from your higher self, not with fear. So as I
Yeah.
said, all these things coming up to purge is helping you to kind of allowing these insights that are ahead of their time. And then the 21st is when the solstice, the sun in Capricorn, time to ground it with real world action. So all these
Yes.
ideas and insights that you're getting, time to ground it, you know?
Yeah, what I really like about this is Mars is already going to be in Capricorn at this point,
Yeah.
and Mars is very strong in Capricorn. You know, he's ready
Mm,
to take action, and
yeah.
Mars has got a 23-month cycle, like you could say, give or take, like 2 years. And so it's been a couple of years since we've had this much energy to like
Mm,
really
yeah.
stop something and really start something. You know,
Yeah.
Capricorn's a real initiatory sign, I think, you know, and
Mhm.
they don't mess around. You know, the Capricorn energy gets things done.
Yeah.
It might take a
And
while and it might be built on
yeah.
wisdom, but they'll get things done. So
Yes.
this is a very active season we're coming into.
It is. And with Pluto and Aquarius as well, community, all that top down structure is kind of dissolving anyways. We can see it. Not all at the same time, but like community, people, the power is coming back to the people. So any of these ideas, these innovation, I mean, I do think the younger people are going to come out with these new innovation technologies. Like just there the last day I had a guy come out to me and he said, we're talking about solar panels. And I said, there has to be an easier way to generate electricity without
Yeah.
it being bulky and expensive. And, you know, it has to be. And then I was just thinking, I could not tell him this, but I was just thinking about the younger people. They're the ones who are going to come up with this innovative, like compressed kind of easier way. And not just that as well. I do think health as well. Like both of us are into frequency technology and our health
Definitely.
and things like that. I have one running right now for the whole family, but I do think things are going to change, and I think it's going to change for the better. I really do.
Yeah, definitely. I should just put a little plug out there. That's Spooky 2 Technology. Is that right? Is that
Yes,
what you're
that's
running
it.
at
I
the
have it
moment?
here beside me. Yeah, and it was because of you. I got it. I was thinking about it for years, and then when I saw your video, I sold. So I have it here. I have my whole family. We're running a terrain right now. You know, 11-day detox terrain, a gentle one because I have my kids in there as
Yes.
well. So yeah,
I've had
it's
my animals on it. I had a cat that was hit by a car recently, and
oh
so we've been giving him like bone treatments and things like that. So yeah, Spooky 2s are very good. And it's interesting, isn't it, actually, because Spooky 2 is a Rife machine and it uses well, it's quantum healing, isn't it? You know,
mhm.
like
Quantum
we're not
entanglement. Yeah.
quantum entanglement, which is you can't get anything more Galactic Center than that, can you really?
No, you
Um,
can't. It's the future. It's the
yeah,
future. That's the thing. There's going to be new technology. It's going to be amazing. It really is. I do think it's going to be. And I mean, the winter solstice there at the end, that's all about a time for it. They say it's the darkest time of the year, but it's when the light comes as well.
yes,
So, you know, it's basically, it's time for us to rest and go within and see that year. God, that year was a tough year. So it was. It was, I purged so much that year. But then, as I
yes,
said, you think that you're going through it, but then your neighbors going through it, your friends, your family, nobody's talking about it. So a lot of self-worth issues are coming up from past
mm,
lives. So that's the 21st of December for the Northern Hemisphere. They do say
mm,
it's the darkest time of the year, turning towards the light. You have
mm,
to pause, rest, release what's outgrown because we all have outgrown it. We're not the same people we were a couple of years ago.
yeah,
Embody what feels true now. Build with integrity and steadiness. Now, integrity is huge. Like we were talking about it earlier, that I don't know about you, if you can feel it, you probably can. Energy that if you can feel it instantly from somebody if they have integrity or if they don't.
yes,
Yes. So that's what I feel like if I was to watch a YouTube video or something and somebody has integrity, I listen. If they didn't, I kind of switch off and things like that. So
definitely.
you can feel integrity. You really can.
Mm,
It's embodied. So our ancestors in Newgrange here in Ireland and Stonehenge in England, they aligned to it. They knew.
mm,
Um, to it. So even in the dark, the light always returns. That's the
Yeah.
message I want to end with.
I think that's really beautiful. I really, really love that. And just something I didn't mention earlier, during this little time frame between the 19th and the 21st, Lilith is coming out of Scorpio and going into the sign of Sagittarius on the 20th. We've got Uranus sort of dancing around, you know, the Taurus Gemini energy, and then we've got Saturn and Neptune dancing around the Aries energy. So Lilith is really igniting with them.
Yeah, isn't it amazing?
In an interesting way. And of course, Lilith, you know, anywhere where you felt like put down or hidden, or like you can't like really let yourself out, all those resentments have been kept inside, I think they're going to start to come out.
Rebel. Rebellion will happen.
You cannot hide, you know, you cannot hide anymore, you know. So the purge energy is doubly strong because Lilith is coming out of the dark and coming into her own light as well. So I think this is very, very strong.
Wow. God, that's very interesting. Yeah. So I think we covered it all. I hope that everybody can go now and find out where their galactic center is in their chart, and take all this and just realize that, like, you're all these self-worth wounds and everything, the voice being silenced and all that, don't take it to feel like that is you, you know, that is just the old you. And if it's from this life, it could be, or it's from past life, it's just coming up to purge. And it does get better. It really does. You have so much help. You really do.
Definitely. So if somebody likes a cut of your jib, if people are like, wow, I really like her, how can they work with you, Trasa? If someone wants to work with you, what do they have to do?
They can just go onto my website, goddessinspire.com, and I have
Goddess Inspire.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I thought you said God is inspired.
Oh.
Because like obviously I know you're Goddess Inspire, but like the way you said it then, I was thinking, oh, she's changed her URL.
Yeah.
But Goddess Inspire, like God is inspired.
Interesting. God, you have a great way of dissecting things. That's a Scorpio in you. And actually, I was just thinking there about one of my kids when we were on our little walk again. He said, who made God? I mean, who thinks about these things? Kids do. And that actually, another one of our slides, I think it was the very end anyway, I'll just talk about it, is that we really should be looking to our kids. It's the children, or even the inner child within you. It's the playfulness. We need to have a frequency high. And if you look to them, they're in the present moment all the time.
Yes,
they're connected to spirit. I mean, I'll tell you a little story that we were on our little walk anyway. And it was just last year I was telling you my father had passed away, and his name is Anthony, but we called him Tony. And one of my kids spelled out Tony in sticks, and straight away a robin came and landed right beside the sticks.
Wow.
So there's connected.
Nature is everything is connected.
Isn't it just? So I do think we should look to them. They're teaching us. They're our messengers. They're already in the present moment. They're joyful. They're playful. And that's all we have to do, really. That's really what we have to do.
That's beautiful. Trasa, once again, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me and taking time out of your busy mum schedule and busy Goddess Inspire schedule to, you know, spend some time here. I really appreciate that.
I love our
thank
chat.
you so much. And let's not leave it so long next time. Let's make this more regular.
We will. We will.
So I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching this far. Trasa's amazing to work with. I've had one of her readings before, and she really takes a lot of time and effort and pride with really researching people's charts. So she's an absolute delight. I can highly recommend her. If you've enjoyed this and you like to explore astrology at a much deeper level, and to look for all sorts of different patterns outside of just the usual planets, then you might find my membership helpful. It's absolutely free to join. There's lots of additional forecasts that I don't put on YouTube, but they are in the community. But it's a great space to come out and have conversations. So come and hang out, come and join me. And I look forward to connecting with you real soon. Lots of love. Bye for now.